staying with the same, we have some breaking news coming in that the Muslim side boycotts the entire ASI survey. Mufti Abdul Nomani, secretary of the Anjuman Masjid Committee, states that the Muslim side was demanding an extension of the survey time. Remember, Muslim side has already moved to the Supreme Court. They have knocked the apex court's gate today. The matter is going to be heard on the same as well. So the Muslim side is clearly not very happy with Varanasi court's order and allowing them for the ASI's survey today. We have some reactions coming in from the Muslim side. Let's listen in.
इमाम व खतीब शाही जामा मस्जिद ज्ञानवापी बनारस व जनरल सेक्रेटरी अंजुम इंतज़ामिया मसाजिद बनारस।
आज सर्वे हो रहा है, उसको लेके
हमारी प्रतिक्रिया यह है कि हम लोगों ने कल डीएम साहब और कमिश्नर साहब, पुलिस कमिश्नर साहब के आवाज़ पे मीटिंग हुई थी। डीएम साहब भी वहाँ मौजूद थे। तो हम लोगों ने उनसे कहा कि भाई ये जो सर्वे होने जा रहा है उसकी हमें ASI द्वारा कोई सूचना नहीं मिली है और कोई नोटिस वगैरह हमको मिली नहीं है, तो हम उसमें शामिल नहीं हो सकते। दूसरी बात यह कि उस आदेश के ख़िलाफ़ हम सुप्रीम कोर्ट गए हुए हैं। आज हमारी हेयरिंग है, तो जिस चीज़ में आज हेयरिंग हो रही है उसी चीज़ में हम वहाँ शामिल कैसे हो सकते हैं। तो हम लोगों ने लिखित रूप से इन लोगों से गुजारिश की कि आप अपने द्वारा हमारी बात आगे उधर पहुँचाएँ कि इसको एक दिन के लिए आगे बढ़ा दें, ताकि हमारी ये सुप्रीम कोर्ट वाला जो मरहला है वो गुजर जाए। उसके बाद हम उसमें शामिल होंगे, उसमें आपका ताउन करते हैं, आपका सहयोग करते हैं। लेकिन अब उन लोगों ने वादा तो किया था कि आपकी ये बात ऊपर पहुंचाई जाएगी, क्या हुआ क्या नहीं हुआ। अब आज सर्वे हो रहा है, तो इसलिए हम लोग ने उसको
आज सुप्रीम कोर्ट में तो आप लोगों ने क्या सर्वे का बहिष्कार किया हुआ है?
बहिष्कार किया हुआ है
जी। किसी तरह से कोई पक्ष मुस्लिम पक्ष की तरफ से अंदर नहीं मौजूद है?
कोई उसको शामिल नहीं है।
अच्छा, जो आदेश आया था उसमें क्या लिखा था कि 4 तारीख तक सर्वे रिपोर्ट सौंपी जाए कोर्ट को? हाँ। कि क्या क्या सर्वे किस तरह का होगा, ये रिपोर्ट सौंपी जाए।
ये डिटेल जो है अभी हमको वो कल रात में काफ़ी मिली हुई है, अभी हम उसका पढ़ नहीं पाए हैं, ये तो वहाँ मालूम होगी। लेकिन इतना ये है कि हम जो है, क्योंकि ये 2 वजह है, इस वजह से हम उसमें शामिल नहीं हैं।
आज सुप्रीम कोर्ट में क्या पक्ष रख रहे हैं आप?
सुप्रीम कोर्ट में कि भाई ये एक तरीके से जब जिस चीज़ पर रोक लगी हुई है, सन 91 से रोक लगी, स्टे लगा हुआ है, और उसका स्टे को इसको नज़रअंदाज करते हुए आदेश जारी कर दिया गया, तो उसके खिलाफ हम गए हुए अपनी बात कहेंगे भाई ऐसा है। अब सुप्रीम कोर्ट का जो फैसला होगा वो देखा।
लेकिन वो हिंदू पक्ष कह रहा है कि मुस्लिम पक्ष डरा हुआ है, इस वजह से सर्वे नहीं चाहता, इस वजह से विरोध कर रहा है।
ये बिल्कुल, ये हमने अभी कहा कि अगर एक
I have CNN News 18's legal correspondent Ananya Bhatnagar joining me live on the broadcast. Ananya, clearly the Muslim side is not very happy with Varanasi court's order. They have reached the apex court also. What do we know about that? Also, could you tell us the major key takeaways from the past surveys on the same complex?
Well, definitely, Sakshi, the matter is before the topmost court of the country, and urgent mentioning would be made, as we have been told by the Muslim side with regards to the orders that have been passed by, in fact, the Varanasi court directing Archaeological Survey of India survey at this particular site, except for the Wazu area, which has been sealed by the topmost court of the country by its earlier orders. Now, what is very important to note is that they have also sought a particular direction that all of the suits that are pertaining to the Gyanvapi case and this whole disputed site should be stayed until the Supreme Court actually give its final verdict. So whether or not that would be allowed is something that is a matter of time. But as you asked me, the second part of your question, what are the key takeaways of the previous surveys? Now, in the previous survey, the Advocate Commissioner's survey, the videography was done of the wazukhana area, where what the Hindu side claims it to be a shivling, while the Muslim side says that it's a fountain that has been found there. But at the same point of time, we have to understand the demography of that particular whole structure, the Gyanvapi site, includes various areas, which includes a central dome. There are 3 basic domes. The Hindu side claims that on the central dome, under beneath that, there is a Tauheed, where in fact there would be 2 more shivlings, and in fact the original shivling of the Adi Visheshwar temple that would be gained back is what has been claimed by the Hindu side. Apart from that, what has also been stated is that on the northern and the southern side of it, the Tauheedas are another Tauheedas are there, and in fact under that also we might see that the Hindu relics are found. Under the central dome there is a hollow sound that comes, which is basically the Hindu side claims is there has been some kind of artificial construction that has been made in order to hide the actual structure of that central dome and to say that, you know, there was a Hindu site that was existing there. Apart from that, the western wall, which is one of the key important aspects of this particular survey, is that, you know, that wall is engraved with you know, Hindu relics. It has signs of swastik and various other Hindu relics that are there. Also, that, you know, the pillars that are there at the Gyanvapi site stand on, in fact, these pillars are of the Hindu temple which Aurangzeb had raised, and then a mosque was built, is what has been claimed by, in fact, the Hindu side. Now, what are the dating techniques and what are the techniques that would be used by the Archaeological Survey of India to actually conduct this survey? Two major techniques would be used by, in fact, the Archaeological Survey of India. One is the GPR, that is ground penetrating radar. Now, what ground penetrating radar is, that it is a machine consisting of two parts. One is a transmitter and one is a receiver. Now, the transmitter is placed in order to send electromagnetic waves down, in fact, you know, down to the ground, beneath the ground, in fact, to see as to whether something is beneath that particular ground, and if at all there is some kind of a structure or some kind of an artifact that is buried under the ground, that wave would hit it and would come back to the receiver, which would show that, you know, there is something, and then excavation can actually take place. And if at all something is found, then a dating exercise is carried out in order to know as to which period does this particular, you know, relic or particular the point in contention comes from. It would also be carried out on the pillars and the central dome of, in fact, this particular site. So how will the archaeology, and today, number one, the day one of this particular exercise, we'll see that markings would be done by the ASI in order to where to place the GPR machines, what techniques to be used on what site is. The first day would go in actually analyzing.